Okay, we've got all the recapping done. We got the E-caps down here. These still have to get their positive connections made uh, to the circuitry. Um, I put that off because I'm going to replace these positive wires here to these caps. This one over here was still good and pliable. Um, Before going any further, I've checked some. I've checked all the resistors. One of them might be iffy over here. I'm going to take another reading on that one just to be double sure, and if it's still questionable, I'm going to replace it. All the other resistors are within spec. These under chassis wires right here, and that one there, they're going to get replaced. They're just too stiff and crusty. And I would probably be all right if I just don't bother sleeping bulldogs, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to go ahead and take care of it now and be done with it. Because they're still in good shape. They're not cracked or anything, but they're stiff as hell. And being underneath this push button assembly, if I scratch it with anything or hit it with anything, it will crack. So we're going to get rid of all of that wacky cracky shit. So we'll even take care of this one here to the can dome. The other two are pretty pliable. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll get that done, and then we can put this thing on in the paint booth and get it boothed up. So get a new skin on it. So we'll see you on the next segment. Okay, folks. We got the questionable wiring out of there. This green, that cyan colored one that laces all the way over to this end of the terminal strip, through there, over hill and dale, back over to there. And we got this cyan one, dark blue, green, green, green on the far side of the hill. This yellow power wire here that comes off the rectum fire tube to the first 41 tube. Everything else looks pretty good in there as long as I don't mess with it. We got the leads finally connected in on these two caps. I still got to ID those. Black wire to this volume control, and the green wire from the 41 tube to the treble control, and this one here to the XXFM tube from the volume control. Oh, there's one right there that I missed. It's a good thing I covered that again. That one there is going to be replaced. Now, these Loctite sockets are a lot better than the original ones that they come out with in the older radios that utilized them. Let's see if I can focus in on one of these. You see, and let me get something that I can stick in there besides my ugly looking finger. This is not a full enclosed circle. It's open through the keyway right there. And these little stubby dubbies here, they grip the end of the bulbous stem of the loctite tube, and you can squeeze this open end down a little bit, kind of flex it in a little bit to give it a little bit more snuggle, and these are much better, although there's nothing exposed here that you can adjust if you got sloppy pin grip on your pins. You may be able to do it from the top, but I doubt it. But they are a better socket. The old socket had a bunch of tangs hanging out of the doggone thing in a circular pattern, and a real snuggle spring there, a real tight spring, and you almost had to jump up and down on the tube to get it to snap in. And these here were a lot easier to squeeze together in case you got a loose grip on a pin. But this one here I pulled out of one of the other Philco, no, a Zenith 527 or 528 radio. I pulled two of them out to replace them. One of the earlier videos on the 527. Because this thing was shot. I mean, it was a pain in the trump. So these here are a lot better. Still got the issue about the pins, but these here will last a lot longer than those. So we're going to go ahead and let me get this thing back to normal, if there's such a thing. And we're going to get this replaced, and then we're going to go out there and pre-stain the cabinet because it is ready for pre-stain. While this is on the it's going to the paint booth, the paint station. So stay tuned, there will be more. Alrighty, here is all the capacitors that came out of that 355 Philco, with the exception of the two safety caps in the bakelite block. There are a total of 24 capacitors in this radio. Beats me how some of them get by with half of that, but that's what it was. And some of them were really tough. So that's that. Now I've got these here ready to go back in. This is cleaned up and ready to go back in, and this here is ready to go back on its assembly to the push button. I got my wires standing by to start the interconnects again. I do have a couple of shorting leads in here between the various lugs that I got to put back in, like this one here and that one there. And there may be others there too. I just know those two offhand. And the chassis is got its coat of titanium silver metallic. It is going to get a clearing of a couple of coats of poly, and then that will be ready to get its toppings put back on it. Stay tuned, we'll have more. Okay, outside on the large bench, we've got the cabinet for that 355 Philco. We did manage getting that panel out of it. it's cleaned up and ready for pre-stain. Um, the sides of the cabinet, top, front, are all sanded back to raw wood. The full finish is untouched except for the touching that I did in these bad spots, um, to kind of tone down the the blemishes on it. Uh, and there were a few, but not a great deal of stuff. But it does look better than it does. And whenever I hit it with some stain to enrich it, it'll it'll take on a whole new look. Now the blocks here and the front jaw of the dial panel and the top scalp part is hardwood. I don't know what. It might be walnut. I'm not sure. Um, the top is mahogany or something like that. It might even be a walnut. I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and I just put the application of this fill in these bad spots all on both of these full finishes, and I gotta give it at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half, so that it hardens up. It won't completely harden, but it'll be hardened enough that I can take it down and smooth it to the same plane as the regular full surface, without leaving an empty pock mark right there. These superficial scratches and the glazing on it, I'm not going to worry too much about. That will fill out real nice whenever I get a few coats of poly on it. This here will get a gloss finish when it's done. Uh, and it'll be hit with a couple of coats of aqua coat to refine it, because I had to really sand this down with some heavy grit in order to get the finish off of it, because it took a lot. So we'll have that. Before we get to the pre-staining stuff, we're going to turn it around and shoot the inside with a dark walnut, and anything else that we can hit it with. Hopefully nothing else other than that. So stay tuned. We'll have more.